want you to hit me as hard as you can.
We'll tear your soul apart.
I've seen things you people wouldn't believe.
Now the dream is over. It's acted away.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Talking Movies. My name is Josh.
My name's
Clay.
Chris. Oh, yeah, we should have worked out order, huh?
That's Chris. That's Clay.
Yeah. Chris here.
And today we're talking about the 2017 Estonian,
yeah.
Art horror folk tale called November.
Issand Jeesus Kristus Jumala poeg. Heida.
All right. Chris, this was your pick.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you to try and explain it and just tell us what you think about it.
No, I think I can explain it decently enough. I mean, there's a whole lot going on like in the background and on the side plot wise, but you know, at the surface, it's really just a love story about a guy and a girl, and the guy loves another girl, and you know, she's trying these little tricks to kind of get her to love him.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a whole bunch of weird stuff going on around it.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff.
Yeah, like I mean, I guess the main thing to bring up is, you know, they live in this like poor farming village, and they make deals with the devil to sell their souls to get these machines that help them do things. And you know, a lot of them are tricking the devil, and they like use berries to make him think they're getting blood. And yeah.
Yeah.
What are they called? Krats or something? I'm looking
Krats.
at it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Krats.
Which I guess
the
is,
Krats are pretty cool.
Yeah, I guess it is like Estonian folklore thing. So it's not something that was like exclusively made up for this.
Okay.
But it's a long running folk, you know, theme, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I had a feeling that was the case. It felt like it was deep rooted like mythology that I was just like, we're just kind of skirting the surface of, because we don't have the history of.
Yeah.
So
Estonia is across from Finland, across from Sweden.
Okay. Yeah, it feels very sort of pagan, you know.
Yeah, it's exactly. I think it's a lot of like pagan folklore stories.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I didn't hate the movie. I just kind of bounced off of it, I think. Like it definitely got better as it went along for me. And, you know, I started reading the Wikipedia synopsis, which sort of enlightened me somewhat. It just was, it felt like nothing was happening, and then that there was also way too much happening at the same time for me.
I agree with that. And like it definitely helped to just read the Wikipedia and see exactly what the hell was going on. Because I admittedly was kind of giving a bit of a pass on some things, just because like, oh, this is folk things I don't understand because I'm not from Estonia.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do agree that it kind of starts to come together a lot in the second half, where some of the things they laid out in the beginning kind of like come back around. But there still is a lot of things that just I think they kind of bring up or it's like happen in the movie and they don't really explain.
They don't explain most of it. I mean, if I hadn't been reading the plot synopsis, I would have been clueless to what was going on. I mean, I could have gotten the basic romance, thread,
Right.
but there's like 15 different threads hanging that they just don't
Yeah.
explain. It's just that there's just things happening. There's no like for the longest time I was just like, where are we going? There's just no driving narrative to a lot of it. It just kind of I just felt like I was hanging in the breeze, like I was lost.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
I've felt like that in the beginning too.
yeah, yeah. I
But like,
mean, the first few shots, like with the Krat thing, and
mhm.
stealing the cow and stuff, I was
Yes.
like, this is weird. I'm in. And then it just sort of like just kind of, I don't know. It was weird too, because it's like so many things that I'm like, I should be liking this. I should really be liking this. I love folklore type stories, like I like mythology and stuff like that. Like, I've loved Neil Gaiman type stuff, and he pulls a lot from things like this. And it's just, it was just the way the story was. It just, or just maybe the fact that they didn't feel they had to explain it enough for a wider audience.
Yeah, I'm sure this really wasn't made with the intention of it kind of going international and getting Americans especially like into
Yeah,
like their specific folklore.
yeah,
Um but yeah, like I don't necessarily think the movie should be longer because I think it's too long, but I feel like they didn't have enough time to explain
yeah.
like everything that they were kind of throwing out there. That
It needed to be simplified, in my opinion.
so yeah,
They
like
needed to remove threads, not extend things.
yeah, yeah. I mean, like I didn't want like some of the stuff I thought was cool, but they never explained it and it never went anywhere.
Mhm.
So like, it's not that I don't want to know like why they were doing certain things, but yeah, it would have just made this movie that's already long like even longer.
Yeah,
So yeah, like I guess for us dumb Americans, get rid of all the stuff that we don't know what we're watching, and then yeah, it could have been more enjoyable, but
yeah,
yeah, at the same time, I think that would lose its authenticity, I guess, and that's I guess part of what kind of appealed to me about it was it was something weird and different, and
yeah. Well, I
So,
mean, go ahead, Clay.
do we know that it's Estonian lore, or are we just assuming that it's
no,
some?
I read that on
Oh, I
Wikipedia, I think.
gotcha. So, how'd you come across this movie? Are you Estonian?
Um, No, no. Thanks for asking. I did actually want to explain that a little bit. So
Yeah,
after
yeah.
after watching The Virgin Spring,
Hmm.
um, I kind of got vibes just a little bit just from that in this,
Hmm.
and so yeah, I just after watching that and then watching Hour of the Wolf, I was just kind of in the mood for something like folky, witchy. So I was like specifically looking for folky horror movies, and nothing really jumped out at me. But like I saw this pop up on a few lists and on Letterboxd, and like okay, this sounds right up my alley. Folk, like black and white.
Yeah,
Um, you know, just sounded cool.
Abstract,
Yeah,
yeah,
experimental.
yeah,
yeah. I mean, I was definitely getting some Bergman vibes from it
yeah,
too. I mean, it's beautiful looking.
Yeah,
yeah,
for sure. The black and white
Undeniable.
killed. Yeah.
yeah. That
It's monochrome. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it looked amazing. Like I almost want to just give it like 3 stars just for like how awesome it looked. That I mean, if it was filmed in color, it'd probably get a 2, but just because it
I
looks
was
so
gonna
awesome.
say. I was thinking that I was like, I would probably like not. I would like this less if it was
Yeah,
in color.
but
Yeah,
it wasn't just the black and white. Like it really had some cool lighting effect shots,
yes,
and it looked really good. It just wasn't like an Instagram filter stuck on a
no,
movie they shot.
They
yeah,
did some like hallucinatory stuff too, like little mild tidbits of it, like when she's in the water, and there was like a scene. I can't remember which one it was, but I mean, it was like shaky camera and weird close-ups and stuff. I mean, It was cool.
Yeah.
I liked it. I thought it was pretty cool, but man, I mean, it was like just on, and I was sort of like, okay, what's happening? And I was totally lost for like an hour. And then you guys mentioned the Wikipedia, and I started reading that, and I was kind of like, oh, I see, how it kind of goes there. Like the puzzle pieces were sort of explained, and then I saw how they were coming together. It was pretty good. But I mean, I think it's like a two watcher. Like I don't think I could, and I don't know if I have it in me to watch it again real soon. But I could see on second watch, like I might enjoy it a little more. Like, oh, this is what's going on, and this is what how it all goes together. But I did think like the deals with the devil were cool. From like a horror aspect. I think anytime you're trying to negotiate with the devil, it's probably not going to end well. So. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of visual poetry and interesting stuff happening. Like I thought the melting snowman thing was all pretty cool.
Yeah,
Um,
there was one shot too. I think maybe he was was alluding to it a little bit, but when they were like flashing back to what was it? The story about the ring, and there was like a shot on the water, and it like meshed in with it going back between like current time and the story they were telling. Like that whole sequence was amazing looking.
Yeah, it was like really dreamy and so like overexposed almost like glowing. And then the end of the movie is like it looks like that too.
Yeah,
they it's just this glowing like you can't like the edges of the frame are all basically all like white.
That's the way the beginning was too, with the wolf running through the trees and stuff. The trees were all blown out, and I was like, "Man, this is crazy looking." Because it was just, I'm like, "Is it snowing or is this just blown out or what?" It was pretty cool.
Yeah. About you saying it's like a two watcher. I tried to watch it again before we started recording, but I was watching the kid, so I couldn't get all the way through it. But I got about halfway through it, and there are definitely some things that like I didn't catch the first time that I think would piece it together a little better. I'm not saying it's the most like well thought out story or anything like that, but there's definitely some little tidbits that they throw in that just sound like random conversations upon initial watch.
Okay,
it's a unique film, I would say. It's not, but it's so abstract that I was just like, dude, what are we doing?
Yeah. It's got a lot of interesting images and ideas and stuff, but it feels like it's 17 hours long. It's
2 hours long. I was like, ooh, an hour 55. Ooh, that's gonna be a long night. It was like an hour and 30 in. I was like, I'm gonna go drive the dogs around the block, and I was still kind of waiting for something to happen. I was like, God, I got 30 minutes left to push through, but then it really started getting lively. So
yeah, no, I mean the last like third of the movie is the most interesting part for sure, but it's like I said, it just feels like nothing's happening for the most part.
It's like have the Bergman vibes though, like it definitely does. Even the setting was kind of Bergman, like the Virgin Spring, the real like I wouldn't say homeless, but what do you call them? Like they're just super country.
Just homeless was the word to describe. They had homes, but
you had to stoop down to walk into their house because the ceilings were so low.
Yeah, I know what you mean though. Yeah, I don't know what the right. I mean, it's just old stuff, old timey country people,
forest folk. Yeah.
That's what they call them in Arkansas, hillbillies.
Yeah. I mean, and I guess it's the nature of the podcast, I guess, but I was specifically in the mood for something like this. So I mean, I definitely agree that it was too long, especially not knowing what's going on for a lot of it, but just being in the mood for it, I wasn't as bored. I was interested in what was going on, so I didn't feel the runtime as much.
Yeah.
But
I think it's one of those movies that when you're I don't want to say that it's homework, but when you're like tasked to watch something and then you're not like coming to it organically, like it can feel like a chore a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah.
Like, but if I was in the mood for it, like you were searching for it and found this, like I would probably enjoy it a whole lot more. I think I just wasn't ready for it. I think.
I think it would look awesome in a theater. Like if you
Oh
were,
yeah.
if you could sit still for 2 hours and watch it, I think it would probably blow you away in the theater.
Yeah, I watched the second half on the projector, and it looks amazing. So
Hell yeah.
yeah, that I think all just kind of elevates my score a little bit. So
Yeah.
that's what I was getting about with the nature of the podcast. That yeah, like if you're not in the mood, it might feel a little bit like homework.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if I've specifically said, but I really liked it.
Yeah. No,
Well,
I got that idea.
Yeah, I'm sure y'all got it, but
how many stars are we talking here? Really liked it out of 5. You know,
I mean,
what are we talking?
4.
I knew you were gonna say 4.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not perfect, and maybe if I was Estonian, I could maybe explain some of the things that I'm just kind of giving it a pass for, I guess. But yeah, no, I was interested. I don't know if I can explain it all, but it was interesting at least. That's why I figured like even if y'all didn't like it, I was like I think it'll at least be a conversation because there's stuff going on. At least there'll be something to talk about.
There's an analyst I follow, a stock analyst, and he's from Estonia, and I'm gonna throw it his way and see if he'll watch it.
Ask him if he knows what a krat is.
Krat. That was the coolest part of the movie. I gotta say, like I thought that was so creative, like the automaton witchcraft sort of. I don't know that I've seen that very frequently, and maybe I don't know. Like, have you guys seen that before in something else?
No.
So I thought that was super creative when it first started. I was like, "What the heck is that thing?" Because it's like,
Yeah.
and then when they were interacting with them, I really hoped that there was something bigger that would happen with the Krats. I was hoping for like a Krat battle, or
Yeah, no, I think it's just a thing. It's just a part of the world.
That's the exchange. Was it was like your little servant, but it couldn't steal humans, but it could steal cattle and food and stuff. But it's like trading your today for no tomorrow, right? You're trading like survival in the winter. You're selling your soul for that, and then you're getting food for today.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you die, you're screwed.
Yeah. I mean, I guess in their case, they really just I think they were looking. I mean, there was a winter going on there, right? So they were just looking to get through winter. I guess you got to do what you got to do.
True that.
Do you guys see it? Do you guys see any deeper meaning in it? Because I think that's another thing I kind of bounced off of. Because like when I'm watching like a Bergman, like I kind of see sort of the themes, the underlying themes and stuff a little bit more. And I felt like it was a lot of lore that didn't have as much to say. Maybe
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think there's some big deep meaning to it, and if there is, they really didn't I don't think lay any groundwork to let us know what the hell it is.
Right.
I mean, the guy he trades his soul, or is it the woman who trades her soul to be with the guy?
No, the guy trades his soul to get the Krat.
Yeah.
Right. The snowman thing.
Who gets the girl somehow. And the Krat's like, hey, I can't get humans. I can only get animals. But somehow the Krat convinces the woman that she should interact with the dude, right? And then when the Krat melts, the ring is presented. Like the ring that he gives her is gonna give her.
Mm-hmm. But he's after another chick. It's not even the girl that's there. He's after like the Baroness. Yeah. And but the I don't even remember the character's name, but the other girl that's been pursuing pursuing him the whole time. She's dressed up like the Baroness, trying to fool him. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And then the devil kills him. So.
Whenever I hear Baroness, I think of G.I. Joe because there was like Cobra Commander and the Baroness.
Let's dig into that further. Let's talk about some G.I. Joes.
I mean, I wasn't expecting you guys to come back and go, "Oh, that was amazing."
No.
But after I watched it, I was like, I tried to warn.
I sent that text out like, okay, well, I was like, oh, Chris.
I didn't want to like sway things one way or another, but
yeah,
I at least just wanted to be like, hey, it's weird. I didn't expect y'all to be, I guess, as interested in it as I was. I guess I wasn't expecting it to be as just weird as it was. But yeah,
it's good. I'm gonna give it another shot one of these days. It looked beautiful.
There is something there.
Interesting. Yeah, there's something there. The rings and the selling souls and the two people trying to hook up and
there very could well be some sort of messages in there with all the stuff that was going on, but
I'll check with the Estonian
I don't know.
buddy. And
I mean, maybe there's some things with rings, or I mean, who knows?
He might not talk to you after if you can watch that movie. You never know.
He'll probably be like, I already saw it. It was a big deal out here.
Yeah, all right.
Maybe so. Who knows? I mean, are there that many like bigger movies in Estonia that get, I don't know, kind of international clout? Because it did win some awards
in Estonia.
Do they have their own language? I don't know.
I think it's their own language. Yeah.
I thought so.
It's got good ratings. This movie has pretty high ratings too.
Yeah, it won some awards, and it went to, I don't know if it was Cannes, but it was in some stuff.
They submitted it for the Oscars too. I saw that. I don't think it didn't get accepted, but it was like submitted. It was that country submission.
It's a Finnic language. It's Estonian it's the language,
okay.
But it's sort of like Finnish, when you're watching Bergman or whatever. It's like
yeah.
It's not unpleasant. It's kind of sing-songy, and that's the way this movie seemed like to me. It was sort of, some languages you're just like, oh my god, I got to turn this down. It's terrible. Not so with Estonian.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish my second watch of it, and I got a copy of it coming. So,
oh, cool.
Yeah, it was enough to at least drag me in for a couple of watches. I think.
I can definitely see the appeal. I just couldn't quite get there.
Yeah,
but I can see the appeal.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I watched. I don't know if we really hadn't talked about it, but I watched Hour of the Wolf.
Mm-hmm.
I think last week, sometime. So yeah, I was just like in the mood for that. Like I think I said it in my review on Letterboxd. Like I watched it and immediately wanted to watch it again, and so yeah, I was just kind of searching out stuff like that.
Yeah,
and seemed to be the closest. Yeah, another Bergman.
I gotta watch this.
It was amazing.
I really wanted to watch one with my mom in Arkansas, but we ended up watching The Whale instead.
Yeah, like they have a flash sale going on Criterion right now. I'm thinking about buying that box set just because it's the only thing. It's the only thing that Hour of the Wolf is in.
Bro, every time they have a sale, I'm like, I'm gonna buy this Bergman box set. I'm gonna buy this thing, and I don't. They have two, I think. Like they have a good one, and they have like the best one.
Is there a couple of different ones?
I think there's two sets. Like there's one like the full set. I want to say.
Huh.
Yeah, I thought the big one was kind of the big one.
Yeah, I think
There's a-
it's yeah.
You bought it, didn't you, Josh?
No, I don't have the Bergman one. I have the Fellini one. But watching a few more of his movies, I kind of want to get it now. So it was kind of on
I
the
love
fence.
Persona.
Yeah, I've been kind of on
Wild
the
Strawberries
fence.
is good too.
Yeah. I need to watch a few more, but I'm definitely interested in this stuff. Yeah. I'm definitely gonna watch Hour of the Wolf. I meant to watch it this weekend. I just got too busy to.
Is it on YouTube?
It is, yeah.
I watch it on YouTube. And I don't know how many of those Bergman movies I'll really watch, but I mean, for half off, it's what, $150, I think. So if I watch a couple of them, I think I'll get my money's worth.
Yeah. I think there's a bunch that are worth looking at.
Yeah, sorry, my daughter's going crazy over here. I'm sure you'll hear it.
All right, man.
I'm trying to like talk and like mute back and forth.
It's okay. Not a big deal. Is everybody good on November? Anyone have anything else to
Yeah.
say?
Good on November.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm good.
All right. Clay, why don't you run down some other stuff that you watched this week?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched Wrath of Becky. I polished off the Becky series, the Becky duo. I actually really enjoy the Becky movies. I don't know. They're just silly, fun, kind of, teenage girl takes revenge on the bad guys with like kind of like all these little MacGyver traps and stuff. It's like Home Alone, except people get blown up and their heads chopped off and stuff.
Nice. Yeah, I heard the
so-
first one was pretty good. I have never
Yeah.
got around to it.
I'd say, 3 stars. It's a good watcher. It's good to watch, but don't expect you to be blown away. Like there's no plot twist or anything. It's just straightforward. Becky gets revenge. And then the second one is, Sean William Scott's in it, which I haven't seen him in a movie in a while. So I was kind of happy to see him. I watched Death Trap with Moms. It's Christopher Reeve and Michael Caine movie. It was kind of like a play within a play. It was good for a little bit. Not my thing too much, but it's good to see old Christopher Reeve. I watched The Whale. I thought it was freaking terrible. I'm sorry.
It's bad.
I could see how it won an Oscar. I could see like the emotions were running high the whole time. The whole time. It's like really trying hard to elicit some tears. And I mean, I just was not in the mood. I was just rolling my eyes, trying to keep it together. At one point, I remember I just let out a moan because I couldn't contain it anymore. I just couldn't believe it. It was like Lifetime movie on steroids.
Yep.
I couldn't believe it. But hey, Brendan Fraser won an Oscar. Long time coming. I salute the guy.
I mean, I think Brendan Fraser is good in the movie. It's not
absolutely.
It's not his fault. The movie's bad.
No.
It's just it's a bad script based on a bad play.
I hated the fact that the guy kept looking at his kid through the like rosiest of rose-colored glasses.
Oh
She's
my
out
God.
trying to like damn near kill him, and he's just like, "No, she's beautiful." Oh,
It felt like the wrong message. I was kind of
weird.
mad at the end of the movie. Like it felt. I don't know what it's trying to say, but it's like
pathetic. That's what it's trying to
looking on the bright side of life or something. But while this guy is dying, but it's like it's so wrong-headed.
Yeah.
And the whole subplot with the other kid that's I can't even remember exactly what he was doing in it, but he was, it just felt like you said, a Lifetime movie.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, it's Aronofsky kind of does just go heavy with themes and stuff.
Heavy.
So it did seem like this was just his, I'm going to go all out and I'm going to win an Oscar and Brendan Fraser's going to win an Oscar.
Yeah.
And I'm glad he did. Damn.
Yeah, like you said, he put on a hell of a performance. And I didn't
Fraser.
I didn't hate the movie, but I'm definitely not going to say you're wrong about anything he said.
Man.
I've loved it, Brendan Fraser, since I was a kid. Encino Man. What's the one with he and Elizabeth Hurley? where he makes a deal with the devil. God,
But-
what's the name of
Oh,
it?
Bedazzled.
Bedazzled.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a good movie. Blast from the Past, where he comes up out of the bomb shelter for like
Yeah.
33 years, and he's just zippity doo dah down the road in the hood. It's
Dude.
awesome, man.
Bedazzled. I probably watched Bedazzled like 10 times on TNT. It was one of those movies. You know?
Such a good movie. When he starts speaking Spanish, he's a drug lord, and he wakes up and he's like, "I'm a drug lord" in Spanish.
I just remember him as a basketball player, and he's like just sweating profusely the whole time.
There's no iron team. Yeah, dude.
Such a stupid movie, but it's
like
fun.
you take all those movies and then you take The Whale. It's like a big shift in gears for old Fraser, like Tarzan and stuff. He's
yeah.
he's never made a serious movie. As far as I like The Mummy, I mean, they've all been family.
But the mummy now is one of those, like, I think like the original Spider-Man movies or like the prequel Star Wars. It just, all the people that watched that growing up now love them. So even though I didn't give a crap about the Mummy when those came out, like they're just kind of beloved now.
Yeah.
And then you have The Whale.
Yeah.
The first Mummy is not a bad movie. It's like Indiana Jones light. It's it's a fine adventure movie, but
yeah,
it's nothing to write home about.
Yeah, so that's that. What about you guys? You watch anything good?
Yeah, let me rattle off a few things. I didn't get to watch as much this week. A few rewatches. I got to rewatch Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh,
the 4K.
So good.
Looked really good on 4K too. I was pretty surprised because it's like a 16 millimeter, grimy movie.
Depending on what day of the week that is my favorite horror movie. Like some days I'm like not in the mood for it because it gets the screaming parts where she's just getting tortured. They get a little rough for me. But the scene, like when he shuts that metal door, boom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. I remember just my blood running cold the first time I saw that.
Yeah.
It's so amazing. And it's like 30 minutes in.
Yeah. He just pops out and gets old buddy and then shuts the door.
meat hook.
Yeah.
The last 45 minutes of that movie is basically constant screaming.
Yeah, it is.
Constant screaming torture.
Yeah, that's like the main reason it doesn't get a 5 for me, because I actually rewatched it again over the. I saw Josh rewatch. I'm like, I got the 4K. I need to watch that too.
Yeah.
So I threw that one on the projector as well. And yeah, I think that's the only thing holding it back from a 5 for me is the screaming. It goes on a little too long.
I totally feel you.
It's totally grating, but it is not an accident that it's grating. It is trying to get under your skin in the nastiest, grimiest way possible.
I think the chainsaw dance at the end makes up for all of it. Like, that shit is amazing to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's basically a perfect movie. It's just like it's lightning in a bottle. I don't even think they knew how they got it. It just happened. It's just, just this visceral artifact, I
love it.
Yeah, I love it too.
I mean, that's
well said.
It was crazy. It came out in the time that it did. It holds up, I think, better than like almost anything from that era.
Yeah, all the remakes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, is there another good Texas Chainsaw? I haven't really seen many of the sequels. Is like I think the second one's fun, but it's like a ridiculous movie.
Yeah.
And I watched the new one on Netflix. I don't even think I've seen most of the other sequels though.
Yeah, I saw the Jessica Biel one. I think was it like 04 or something like that. It's not. It's okay.
Yeah,
I'll say it's not good. It's not bad. It's just
I was debating watching it because some people say that's a decent remake, but I've just stayed away from most of them.
It's decent, but
yeah,
is it worth really going seeking out? Not really. Unless
Yeah.
you're really in the mood for like if you rewatch Texas Chainsaw Massacre and it goes, I need more. I mean, you can either just rewatch it again, or I mean, yeah, maybe you can give that one a shot.
Yeah. One of these days, I'll just throw it on out of boredom, probably. Let's see what else. I watched Friday the 13th Part 2 on Friday the 13th, and it was boring. It was not very good.
Yeah.
I've stayed away from those for the most part too, because slashers aren't my favorite in the first place, and those ones always seem like the most generic version. But I was like, maybe I'll give it another one a shot, and it was fine.
Yeah. It's not bad, but it's not good either.
Yeah, it's totally just like there.
And it's, I mean, really the first like 3 or 4 of them are just rinse and repeat over again. And now with mask, now with now with bag on head, and then now with mask,
Now with burns.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My cousin and I, when I visited Arkansas this weekend, talked about Nightmare on Elm Street. She said Nightmare was probably her favorite, series, and I was like, oh, me too. And then she was like, oh, and my husband's is Nightmare or is Friday the 13th, and I was like, oh no, like no way. Those are not good to me.
I can't imagine just popping those in for fun. There's like
People
so
love
much.
them.
They're like 80% just like boring. Just kids running around.
Yeah.
At Camp Crystal Lake, it's like,
yeah,
and then it's like for like an hour. I don't know. I can't muster up any excitement, enthusiasm for it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that many of the Nightmare on Elm Street sequels though either, and I've seen 1 and 3 and New Nightmare. I don't think I've messed with any of the other ones.
3 is Dream Warriors, right?
Yeah, that's
the Talkin soundtrack. We're the Dream Warriors.
Yeah, we did that on the podcast like a year ago, I think.
Yeah, a while back.
I think it was last October, because I never even seen that one, and it's definitely good, very good. But yeah, I mean, I've heard most of them aren't very good beyond that either, so I don't know. I like Freddy though. If I'm gonna jump into some like more generic movies, I'd probably rather watch Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, like Freddy and Pinhead, I think are the two like just coolest horror villain characters.
Yeah.
Even though all their movies aren't that good.
The Hellraiser franchise has had, a myriad of stinkers too.
Yeah. Yep, unfortunately. Yep.
I mean, that's what happens when you try and churn them out like every other year. They just don't have a story.
Yeah.
I rewatched From Beyond, the new 4K of that. I really like that movie. It's very silly, but it's fun, and I do like it a lot more than I wouldn't say a ton more, but I like it better than Reanimator.
Yeah, I've only seen that one once. I've been wanting to rewatch it myself because I got the 4K too.
Yeah, it looks good, and it's more my speed. It's like less like undead zombie stuff and more wacky, weird science fiction. Just more uncomfortable, like goopy effects and stuff. So I enjoy that one. And then I watched The Tenet, which is the Roman Polanski movie, which I liked quite a bit. I know Chris he watched it a while back and wasn't a big fan of it, but I
just wasn't a fan of Polanski. Like, I really hated him in the movie.
Yeah.
Like, if it had been anybody else but Polanski, I think I would have liked it just fine. I mean, and I did like it. I think it's pretty good. The story's cool. It does some interesting things.
Yeah.
With just him kind of going crazy and becoming the person that apartment he took over.
Mm-hmm.
I can't get over his bad acting.
I didn't think it was that bad, honestly. I like he's definitely not like a professional actor, but I didn't think it was nearly as bad as what you made it out to be. Yeah, I know. Have you seen that one, Clay?
No, I sure haven't. I don't know much. I mean, Polanski. I know that I've seen some of his movies, but I couldn't tell you which ones.
Rosemary's Baby,
Rosemary's
Chinatown.
Baby. I know that he has sort of a sordid personal life.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
That's putting it lightly.
yeah, most definitely.
And that's why I've sort of avoided some of his movies, to be honest. And I generally try not to let that, interfere, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that definitely can affect your view of stuff. I think he's such a good director, though. It kind of like it's hard.
I've seen
It's hard
The
to
Pianist,
deny.
The Ninth Gate.
Repulsion.
Yeah.
Yeah, Repulsion's good.
Repulsion.
I like that one more than the Tenet.
That's a difficult watch.
I think I like the Tenet more. Actually, I watched Repulsion like a couple months ago, and I liked it, but they have a similar vibe. Like this and Rosemary's Baby and Repulsion all kind of have the like I don't know. They all take place in this apartment building. They also have sort of a similar thing to them, but I liked it quite a lot. So take that as you may.
Yeah. I maybe it's I don't. I mean, Polanski is Polanski, so I mean, maybe I just don't like seeing his face on the screen.
Yeah,
But and I thought the end was just a little corny too, because like he's I'm trying to remember. He goes up,
him jumping out the window.
and jumps out the window, and then like he gets up, and doesn't he jump out the window again or something?
Yes, he does. Yeah, he crawls.
It didn't work the first time.
Yeah, he crawls back up and then jumps out the window again.
Oh yeah.
And then
That's
he
what I
becomes the person that was in the cast. Like the end of the movie is like a loop.
Right.
Yeah. Which I thought was cool.
Yeah, I think him jumping out the window a second time was just like me like flipping over the table and being like, what the hell? That was so stupid.
Yeah.
So
I think it's meant to be satirical though. It's supposed to be silly. Like from what I read, he was trying to make a comedy. I watched because I bought the Blu-ray, so I was watching some of the special features, and he was like, "Yeah, people don't understand that I was trying to be funny." With at the time,
I definitely didn't get that.
Yeah.
I say that too with bad shit that I'm just like, oh, I was just trying to be funny.
I was like, yeah, I mean, if that's what he was going for, then I mean, maybe I can watch it again and feel differently. But I did not get any funny. I don't know. So
yeah,
I mean, didn't get it.
Yeah, you just didn't get it, man. You just didn't get it. Okay. I don't know. Maybe rewatch it in a few years or something.
Yeah, maybe so. Almost picked it up on the Scream Factory sale, but like I was kind of on the fence. Like I didn't.
I almost didn't because you like scored it like 3 stars or something. I was like, maybe I should not buy this, but I'm kind of glad I did because I'll definitely watch it again.
No, I mean that I think it's good. I enjoyed it, but there was definitely some things that like just kind of knocked it down a few stars for me. But I'll probably watch it again. I'll pick it up at some point, I think.
Fair enough. Anything that you watched this week, Chris?
So I mean, we talked about Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We watched that one again. It's great. It's Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
And I guess really the only other thing of note is I watched the Devonsville Terror. I picked it up not too long ago on a Vinegar Syndrome sale.
Oh, okay.
I saw that.
So it's Vinegar Syndrome.
I saw that you watched that.
So it's like so it's like 70 minutes of like boring stuff and then insane.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's more witchy stuff. So again, I was in the mood for that this week, I guess. So like you said, it's boring for the most of it, and then gets kind of cool in the end, but yeah.
Cool.
Come to know what I'm in for with Vinegar Syndrome.
Yeah. I just can't pay like $25-$30 for one of their movies when when it's that kind of a movie, you know.
Yeah, I think it was like $15.
Or-
Because I got it with a couple of
Oh.
other things in a sale.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I like those, but none of them are very good. So just gotta be in the mood for it.
They're definitely scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
once in a while you find a gem, but
Yeah. I mean,
All right.
from Beyond is technically a Vinegar Syndrome, I guess.
it is. But that's like a MGM movie
Yeah.
that they acquired and stuff.
Right.
But
yeah.
so we can wrap it up. Clay, what's your pick for next week?
So this is a big shift in gears from our horror. We've been doing horror now for with Randy's channel and our channel. And I feel like, I hope I don't blow it here, is what I'm saying. But
Blow it.
It's not horror. It's romantic, sort of. I don't know. You'll see. But it's probably one of my favorite movies ever. And you can hate it, and hate on it. I don't have a problem with that. So don't feel like you need to buffer this whole thing because Clay likes it. It's Closer. 2004. Mike Nichols. You've seen it?
Is that the one with Natalie Portman? Yeah.
Have you guys seen it?
I haven't seen it, but I know of it. Yeah.
But I haven't seen it. I think I was watching it after it came out, just because Natalie Portman was in it.
Yeah. Julia Roberts, Jude Law, Natalie Portman, Clive Owen. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I remember liking it back then.
Super decadent, kind of emo. I was gonna watch it again. It's sitting on my DVD shelf, and I was like, "Man, I'm gonna watch this movie." And then I was like, looking at podcast stuff, and I had a horror movie picked out, and I was just like, "Dude, are we done with October yet?" So,
No, I hear you. I'm definitely gonna lean away from horror.
Yeah. Mike Nichols did The Graduate, so
yeah, I actually just finished reading a book about Mike Nichols, so I've been wanting to watch some more of his stuff. So cool.
Yeah. Nice.
All right. Well, next week, Closer, from 2004. It's on Hulu, so easy to watch.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Natalie Portman.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with Natalie Portman.
The stripper or something, right?
She's got pink hair, so
yeah,
pretty cool.
Oh, that's her stripper outfit. She ditches the pink hair.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Now I don't want to watch it. All right, guys, we'll wrap it up. Y'all have a good day. See ya.